Welcome to the Purple Stars podcast, the place where every life story and paw print has the power to touch your heart and inspire meaningful change. I'm Sarah Herzl, your host, a coach for health and mindset, a founder, an author, and above all, an animal lover. In this podcast, we bring together guests who share a deep love for our furry companions and offer unique perspectives on life and the life lessons they have learned from animals. If you're an animal lover who is eager to grow personally, this is precisely where you belong.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Purple Stars podcast. My name is Sarah. I'm your host. And if you are wondering if your work is going to pay off, this episode is for you. So, if you've been putting in a lot of work behind the scenes and pouring your heart into whether it's your career, your personal growth, your relationships, or your health, but the results you've been hoping for just seem to be taking their time, I see you and I feel you. I've been there, and that's why I decided to record this episode and share a practice with you that is simple but incredibly powerful. It's a practice I've turned to time and time again, both for myself and my clients. And it's a practice that brings you more clarity and builds your confidence. And most of all, it reminds you that you are making progress, even when it doesn't feel like it. And trust me, it is a game changer. And I call it the I am winning list. And before I get into it and tell you all about it, I do want to have a little shout out, heartfelt, grateful shout out to my dad, because it's something that I've learned from him many years ago, almost, I think 18, 19 years ago now. Back then, I was a competitive golf player. I was in high school. And when my dad told me about this list, I hadn't won any big tournaments. And I remember there was a day I teared up, I was frustrated, and I said to my dad that I had no idea if whatever I was doing would ever pay off. And I just feel frustrated because he keeps telling me during a tournament I should focus on things that, I did really well in the past, but I said, as long as I'm not winning a tournament, I don't really have anything to remember. And he got me then this coral red little tiny notebook. It was around the size of my hand, and he smiled while giving it to me and said, Sarah, this little notebook is going to be at all times in your golf bag, and it's going to be very important because we're going to fill it up with all your wins. And I remember looking at my dad and also being a little bit annoyed. Keep in mind, I was a teenager back then, because I thought to myself, so I tell my dad that I'm frustrated that I don't have any wins that I can, fuel and pump myself up with. And he wants now me to fill up an entire notebook and have an empty one in my golf bag. So it kind of reminds me all the time that I haven't won a big golf tournament. But he did explain to me then, and he said, look, Sarah, when you look at one day of a golf tournament, you are playing 18 holes, meaning you have the chance to win 18 times. On each hole, there can be something that you're proud of and something that you consider as a win. It can be either one shot, it can be the way you were sticking to your routines, that you remember to stay hydrated, that you didn't give up. Like anything like that is going on the winning list. So that's the origins of the I'm winning list. And I can't remember what my dad called it back then, but I'm calling it now the I'm winning list. And it's a practice that stay with me through many highs and lows. And that's why I'm really excited to share with you today because, it's so easy to overlook that progress isn't always loud or obvious. And it's not always, like when we get those gold medals, when we get that job promotion, when we hit those final goals. It's sometimes it's the quiet, consistent actions, the small shifts in mindset, the choices that add up over time, the moments of self-compassion that truly move us forward. So the I am winning list isn't about marking off accomplishments along the way. It's so much more. It's about honoring how far you've come, how you're showing up for yourself, where you are right now, and most of all, recognizing the significance of every step you are taking. Because so often we're wired to focus on what's missing, what's wrong, and our brains are, constantly reaching for the next best thing or like focusing on what's out of reach. But when we consciously take moments to reflect on how we show up for ourselves and what we have already done, we begin to break the pattern of focusing on the gap and the lack. And we start to grow more self-trust and build more resilience and find also a certain sense of confidence in those seasons where we are still waiting for the harvest that we are hoping for. So the I'm winning list really is a reminder and a practice that helps you to see that every little thing you do adds up and nothing goes to waste. So the I'm winning list is something that you can start, whether it's, in your journal or in your notes app on your phone or wherever you would like. And ideally every day or once a week, whenever you want, but consistently, you are going to write down your wins. And I do want to say every win, whether it's, like something that seems too small or too quiet, also those wins deserve to be seen and to be named on this list. And I invite you actually to bring in this sense of a little child and a dog when you're doing this list. And what I mean by that, I see it, for example, with my dog Felix, whenever, like, there are so many things I celebrate with him. Like, when I think back when I got him, the first time, like peeing outside and like the first sit and the first down and then the recalls, like all these things, like I celebrated, like so much so I call my mom, like, and all different people that took pictures and just so excited about it. So, and I think it's the same also with kids. Like we get excited about the first word they say, even if we don't know what this word means. Or when they try to get up for the first time, and we're excited about it, even with afterward, even if they just stand up for a second or two and then fall back down on their bum. And if you can bring in this sense of excitement and wonder, and that everything is worthy of celebrating, yeah, that would be amazing, because that's when the magic happens. And, on this list can be things that are in your personal life, in your professional life. It can be something like, today I ask for help, or I spent the first 15 minutes after waking up without my phone. It can be also something like I said no to something that didn't feel right, which is a big one. It can also be something like, I answered a message that I've been avoiding, or I let my project be good enough instead of, like pushing it through until I felt it was perfect. Or it can also be something like I kept going even when it was hard, or I let myself cry instead of holding it all in. So on your I am winning list can be literally anything. It can even be something like I stayed hydrated today. I went for a 5-minute walk. I cooked a meal for myself. Like anything like that. And you might be wondering now, how do these small things relate to my big dreams? Whether it's having finally having healthy relationships, or getting your business off the ground, or maybe even reaching your dream weight. Here's the thing: all these small wins are the foundation for any bigger goal, and they are the quiet heartbeats that keep you going and also prepare you then for the breakthrough moments, for the moments when you reach your goals. So let me actually repeat that. All these small wins are the quiet heartbeats that keep you going and also prepare you for the moment when you then have these healthy relationships, when you get your business off the ground, when you reach your dream weight. So, for instance, when it comes to your business, every moment when you keep going, even when it's hard, or also, when you let yourself cry, when, the pressure feels too much, those are moments that you build your resilience, you build your self-confidence because you are showing up for yourself. And these are also the moments when you build your ability to weather the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. So each of these small, quiet wins create the mental and emotional strength that you will need once the breakthrough is happening you've been hoping for. And also, just to give one other example, in relationships. So every time you ask someone for help, or you find the courage to say no, even when your knees, are trembling and your heart is racing, these are the moments you are laying the groundwork for deeper connection, trust, for more nourishment. And these small acts of self respect and also self love help you to show up more authentically, and also allow you then, have more confidence and an open heart in both existing and also new relationships, because you are paving the way for something truly fulfilling and also healthy. So it's really easy, to overlook these moments, these small, quiet wins, but trust me, they matter. They matter. It's the little things that over time build the foundation for everything you dream of achieving and having. So here's your invitation. Tonight, before you go to bed, grab a notebook or open a note on your phone and start your personal I am winning list. And I ask you to add at least one thing. And if you're struggling to find one thing, I'm going to make it easy for you today. You can add, I am starting my winning list, without knowing what I should write down. Because, after all, starting this list is worthy of being mentioned, because it is going to help you track your progress, grow your self-trust, build your confidence, your resilience. In moments and days where you're doubting yourself, you can come back to that list and be like, oh, wow, it's true. I've been sowing all these seeds along the way. I've been collecting all these puzzle pieces. It is just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if. It's just a matter of when things are going to happen. And one little thing I do want to say, this list is really not about, proving something big to the world. It's about reminding yourself that every step is worth celebrating and that every step is a victory. And I really hope it will help you, to let yourself be proud, because you are doing better than you think, and you're growing, evolving, and changing in ways you might not see yet. And you are certainly already winning. And What's actually also really important for me that regardless of how many wins you're going to list and how much you slay it, I always want you to remember that you are loved for who you are and not what you do, and that you always matter, especially in those moments when you might feel like you don't. So, this being said, I hope that your personal I Am Winning list is going to contribute a lot to your life, as much as it has done to my own and to many others. And if you love it, please start it. Please share it with your family, with your friends. Also, share your wins, your personal wins on Instagram with us. We're always so excited. We will definitely be cheering you on. And so I cannot wait to see what's going to come out of you starting your personal list. And please stay safe, take care of yourself, and